Hello from Michigan Alliance for Families. We are facing some of the same challenges that you are as we try supporting our children's learning. We are offering this in hopes of helping you have a plan for monitoring your child's progress while school is happening at home. School looks different for each family, and we are all doing our best to get in academics and work on the skills or behavior our children are learning connected to their individualized education program, their IEP. To set ourselves up for success, it is about making a plan and working the plan. And of course, changing the plan when it isn't working. Let's get started. This is a 5-step process to make a plan, work the plan. We will be covering each of these steps in the remainder of this video. We start by gathering information, then make a decision about what we want to accomplish. The important step, make a written plan. Next step is to put our plan into action. And as you are working your plan, it is important to keep records. Let's get started. The first step, gathering information. There are at least 2 pieces of information that you will need. Your school district has developed a continuity of learning plan. This explains how the district will provide instruction for all students, including those with IEPs. This could be a paper packet, phone calls, online classes, or a combination of these. There is a good chance you received information from your school district regarding the continuity of learning plan. You can also look for information on your local school district's webpage. Each student who is receiving special education services and programs has an individualized education program, an IEP. Each IEP is different based on a student's strengths and what helps them learn, weaknesses, and what gets in the way of learning. The IEP will include the skills or behavior your child is learning. These will be on the goals and objectives page of the IEP. The IEP will also list accommodations or modifications that are being provided to support your child's learning. These are listed on the supplementary aids and services page of the IEP. If you are unclear about how to work on your child's IEP goals and objectives, then now is the time to ask for guidance from the other members of your child's IEP team. To learn more about IEPs, including goals and objectives and accommodations and modifications, visit Michigan Alliance for Families on YouTube to access our on-demand webinars and videos. For each student with an IEP, the state is encouraging IEP teams to create a contingency learning plan to explain the special education and related services the district is able to provide during the pandemic. This plan is individualized based on the current IEP and makes sure the student can access the education now being offered by the district. The district is encouraged to develop the plan with input from parents because parents are a part of the IEP team. Many districts have communicated directly with families to figure out how special education and related services will be provided, but do not have a written contingency learning plan. The state is encouraging this practice, but it is not mandatory. If a contingency learning plan was developed for your child, then having a copy will be important to having all the information you need to make your plan. Michigan Alliance for Families website has a COVID-19 web page. There you can find the latest special education guidance from both the state and federal government. as well as useful information and resources. We have also included resources that our staff have found helpful. Step 2. You need to decide what you can accomplish. When it comes to IEP goals and objectives, you need to decide if you want to maintain your child's skills and limit the loss of skills, or do you want to work to make progress, to continue growth? Well, this decision needs to be made realistically. We are all dealing with a lot of change and additional responsibilities. This is a decision that each family needs to make based on resources available, a parent's knowledge and skills, and in balance with the academic demands of all the children in our home. And of course, for those of us working from home, work schedules must be taken into consideration. Each family is different. Your plan needs to work for your family. The best plan is one that is written down. Do what works for you. That could mean using a computer, tablet, or smartphone, or writing in a notebook or on Post-it notes. Work with your strengths. Use what works best for you. Now is not the time to try and learn a new computer program or an app. If you operate with Post-it notes on a wall or mirror, go ahead and use them to make your plan. The most important part is writing it down. Step 3. You have gathered your information and you've decided what you want to accomplish. Start with the IEP goals and objectives. If you have been working with a therapist, like a speech and language pathologist or an occupational therapist or social worker or a teacher, you may know which goals and objectives they have been working on with your child. Some therapists or teachers may also have given you homework to do between sessions. It's important to know the goals and objectives the homework is connected to. If this is unclear, make sure that you ask the therapist or the teacher to make the connection for you. Next, you need to identify resources or materials you need. Most of you are probably receiving materials from your school district. These may be paper packets mailed to your house, or maybe they're housed online in a format like Google Classroom, or maybe a combination of both. You may have items in your home that you can use, or you may need to make a list of things you need and discuss it with the therapist or the teacher. You can also ask them to help identify things you have in your home that you didn't think to use. It is important to know your learning style. Yes, you, the parent. What is your learning style? If you learn best when you see something demonstrated and you are getting written paper packs from school, then have a conversation and ask if it's possible to have a demonstration online, Google Meets or Zoom, or if a video can be recorded and sent to you. Or maybe there's a video on YouTube that explains it or shows it. Having the right resources and tools can make things go more smoothly. Next, determine how often you're going to work on the goals and objectives. Towards the end of your child's IEP is the page that lists information about special education services and programs your child receives. This information might be helpful because it will describe how frequently and how long your child receives services from a therapist or a teacher. You can also ask how often you should be working on them at home. Last but not least, record keeping. It is important for parents and students to track skills they are working on and the progress that is being made. Keeping these records yourself will give you information for future discussions related to extended school year, needed supports and services, and developing the next IEP. I will give you some ideas for recording information as we continue. Information on extended school year can be found on our website. This includes guidance documents from the Michigan Department of Education Office of Special Education and a link to the extended school year webinar. All right, go implement your plan. But most importantly, if your plan is not working, then go back through the first 3 steps and adjust the plan. It could also be that your plan worked great in the beginning, but as life changes and summer begins, you may need to alter your plan. If you are struggling to meet the demands of your child's learning, please reach out to your teachers and therapists. They know that the demands and the stress on families are high, and they can assist you in identifying priorities and realistic amounts of time to work on or complete activities. It may sound cliche to say you are not alone. You may indeed be alone with your child, but think of the school personnel as a team of professionals standing by to help. If you need support to effectively communicate with school staff, then contact Michigan Alliance for Families. We're available to support and to mentor you. Step 5, record information. If you need help figuring out how to record information related to the work that you're doing with your child, ask someone on the IEP team to help you set that up. There are a wide variety of ways that you can track information, and we encourage you to use a system that you already know works for you. Don't try learning something new. Smartphone apps may be a convenient tool to use. Notes app, voice memos, habit trackers, or journals. Using index cards, one for each thing that you're working on and keeping them in one of those little file boxes. Using notebooks or paper. Some people like file folders and keep them in those milk crates, while others like the expanding folders with a dozen different slots, yet other people like to use binders. Think about the computer program you use every day, at home or at work. This could be a word processing program or a spreadsheet program like Excel. Whether paper or plastic, calendars can be a quick way to record information. And don't forget to look online. There are websites that can help you find tools that work for you. Teachers Pay Teachers. On this website, you have to create an account, and they have many free products that can be used for recording information. Pinterest. Try a variety of searches: progress monitoring, speech therapy goal tracking, and of course, you can just Google search and see what comes up. And it may be helpful to look at the images first. As I mentioned earlier, it will be important for parents and students to track skills they have been working on, as well as progress that's being made. Keeping these records yourself will give you information for discussions related to things like extended school year, needed supports and services, and when developing the next IEP. Consider keeping a log or a journal of what worked and what didn't work with learning. Along with recording information on progress, you will want to consider logging your contacts with the school. Consider keeping track of the WH questions: who, when, how often, and what. This kind of record means you don't have to rely on your memory for all the details, and you can use it to refer back to during phone calls, emails, or meetings. Time is a funny thing right now. Was that call this week, or was it last week, or was it an email? Let your log be your memory. Just remember to put the date on any notes that you make. Look on Michigan Alliance for Families' COVID-19 page for this special education and distance learning What Parents Need to Know document. The questions from the 2 previous slides are included in this document, along with other helpful information. Thank you for joining us. We hope that you found the information helpful. Michigan Alliance for Families is an IDEA grant-funded initiative of the Michigan Department of Education, Office of Special Education, and we are Michigan's federally funded parent training and information center. We have a comprehensive website that has useful, timely, and accurate information, especially our COVID-19 webpage. If you are in need of individual assistance, Michigan Alliance for Families has parent mentors who live throughout Michigan. You can find the parent mentor that covers where you live by going to our website, michiganallianceforfamilies.org. Look underneath the About Us tab. Or you can reach out to us at info, I-N-F-O, at michiganallianceforfamilies.org. Or call 800-552-4821. Don't forget to stay connected with us on Facebook and Twitter, and check out our on-demand webinars on our YouTube channel. Again, thank you for joining us, and we hope you and your family stay healthy and safe.